Today is August 18th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today on the Big Book, we're going to be reading more about alcoholism, Chapter 3, by reading page 38. Out of the 12 and 12, we're going to read Step 6, the top of page 65. And out of the Daily Reflection and 24 Hours a Day, we will be reading August 18th's entries. So with that, I hope y'all are doing well this morning. Life is good over here. I really can't complain. It's been a great day. I'm recording this one in the evening, and I'm just kind of reflecting on the day, and it was another just beautiful day. And I'm just grateful that I was able to spend it sober. It's been great. All glory to my higher power. And let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, if you recall from yesterday's reading, we are hearing that good old-fashioned metaphor of the person who is the chronic jaywalker and how absurd that seems to be. That he just keeps going out there and getting hit by cars, and he promises he's not going to do it again, and here he is doing it again, getting hurt even worse. So that's much like our alcoholism. So we're on page 38. On through the years, this conduct continues, accompanied by his continual promises to be careful or to keep off the streets altogether. Finally, he can no longer work. His wife gets a divorce, and he is held up to ridicule. He tries every known means to get the jaywalking idea out of his head. He shuts himself up in an asylum, hoping to mend his ways. But the day he comes out, he races in front of a fire engine, which breaks his back. Such a man would be crazy, wouldn't he? You may think our illustration is too ridiculous, but is it? We who have been through the ringer have to admit if we substituted alcoholism for jaywalking, the illustration would fit us exactly. However intelligent we may have been in other respects, where alcohol has been involved, we have been strangely insane. It's strong language, but isn't it true? Some of you are thinking, yes, what you tell us is true, but it doesn't fully apply. We admit we have some of these symptoms, but we've not gone to the extremes that you fellows did. Nor are we likely to, for we understand ourselves so well after what you have told us that such things cannot happen again. We've not lost everything in life through drinking, and we certainly don't intend to. Thanks for the information. And all I'll add to that, my friends, as we conclude the Big Book reading today, is yet. Moving on to the 12 and 12 run, Step 6. We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. Top of page 65. It is nowhere evident, at least in this life, that our Creator expects us to fully eliminate our instinctual drives. So far as we know, it is nowhere on record that God has completely removed from any human being all of his natural drives. Since most of us are born with an abundance of natural desires, it isn't strange that we often let these far exceed their intended purpose. When they drive us blindly, or we willfully demand that they supply us with more satisfactions or pleasures than are possible or due us, that is the point at which we depart from the degree of perfection that God wishes for us here on earth. That is the measure of our character defects, or, if you wish, our sins. Daily Reflection, August 18th. Getting well. Very deep, sometimes quite forgotten, damaging emotional conflicts persist below the level of consciousness. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 79 through 80. Only through positive action can I remove the remains of guilt and shame brought on by alcohol. Throughout my misadventures when I drank, my friends would say, "Why are you doing this? You're only hurting yourself." Little did I know how true those words were. Although I harmed others, some of my behavior caused grave wounds to my soul. Step 8 provides me with a way of forgiving myself. I alleviate much of the hidden damage when I make my list of those that I've hurt. In making amends, I free myself of burdens, thus contributing to my healing. 24 hours a day, August 18th. AA thought for the day. We of agnostic temperament have found that as soon as we were able to lay aside prejudice and express a willingness to believe in a power greater than ourselves, we commenced to get results, even though it was impossible for any of us to fully define or comprehend that power which we call God. As soon as you can say that you do believe, or are willing to believe, you're on your way. Upon this simple cornerstone, a wonderfully effective spiritual structure can be built. Am I willing to depend on a power that I cannot fully define or comprehend? Meditation for the day. We seek God's presence, and they who seek shall find. It is not a question of searching so much as an inner consciousness of the divine spirit in your heart. To realize God's presence, you must surrender to His will in the small as well as in the big things in life. This makes God's guidance possible. Some things separate you from God. A false word, a fear-inspired failure, a harsh criticism, a stubborn resentment. These are the things that put a distance between your mind and God. A word of love, a selfless reconciliation, a kind act of helpfulness. These bring God closer. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may think and say and do the things that bring God closer to me. I pray that I may find Him in a sincere prayer, a kind word, or an unselfish deed. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading. Really like the daily reflections today. It says here, only through positive action can I remove the remains of guilt and shame brought on by alcohol. Step 8 provides me with a way of forgiving myself. It says here, I alleviate much of the hidden damage when I make my list of those that I've hurt. Just in the willingness to make that list of the ones that we've hurt, we acknowledge that we played a part in that, and we're taking responsibility, and that's half the healing right there, is acknowledging, I messed up. Having the humility to admit that. It takes a lot of guts. There's a lot of people I know that do not like to admit when they're wrong. But I love this. In making these amends, I free myself. Even if they don't forgive us necessarily in step 9, that's not really why we do it. We do it to clean our own side of the street. Because it's the right thing to do, whether we get anything we want in return or not. And last thing I want to say, and this really has nothing to do with any of the readings today, but with the fellowships that I attend, you really meet people that are just absolutely incredible. And I'm thinking of one man. He has a debilitating brain disease. And he's dying. But you would never, ever know it by the way he acts. He was in the hospital the other day, and some friends tried to reach out to him, and he was like, nah, it's okay. I just don't want to bother anybody. And he's always joking. And if anybody has a reason to complain or of a bad hand or to be depressed and mopey or to want to drink or use this as an excuse to drink, it's this guy. But no, he's at a meeting. He's smiling. That is some true strength right there. Some spiritual grit, if you will. I hope that I can be that strong one day. This is really inspiring, because when I see people like that, for me, how can I ever think there isn't a God? It's just incredible. So my friends, if you are sober today, you are a miracle. And those who love you are very proud of you. And I'm proud of you because I know the struggle. I know how hard it can be, especially early on, building those new healthy routines. And these suggestions, these 12 suggestions, they're foreign at first. They're very, very much against our old patterns. But they're so much better. It's amazing when we can look in the mirror and smile and say, I'm going to live a life of integrity today. And these 12 steps certainly help us to do it. So my friends, that's all we have time for today. I hope you have a great one. And if we were given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.